If our family of four had to start from zero, no savings, no investment, and no safety net, I would not begin with investing. I would not open a brokerage account. I wouldn't research any index funds. I would not even think about compound growth yet. I would do four things in this exact order: a 1-month buffer, employer match, high interest debt, then the fully funded emergency fund. That is the foundation. But here's the thing. Investing only works if your family's finances can handle emergencies along the way. And if you're a family with kids, it's not really a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So in this video, I want to walk you through exactly how we would rebuild our finances if we had to restart from scratch. When I first got into personal finance, I thought building wealth was all about investing. What stock am I going to invest in? What index fund am I going to invest in? How do I open up a Roth IRA? How do I open up a brokerage account? But as I've gotten older, I've realized one thing. Investing is only powerful if your financial system can handle real life emergencies. Because here is what can happen. You start investing, you're feeling good, you're motivated, finally feel like you're making progress. Then the car needs a repair, or there's a medical bill, or insurance goes up. And if there's no cash cushion, you have to resort to either selling your investments or looking to take on debt through a credit card at a 25% interest rate. And either way, the progress gets interrupted. And this is why I think the foundation is so critical. Not because it's exciting, I know this is a boring topic, and not because it makes you feel wealthy right away, but because it gives the rest of the plan a chance to actually work. And if this kind of breakdown is helpful for you, consider subscribing. We are not financial experts. We're just documenting the real numbers, the real decisions, the mistakes, and the progress as we try to build long-term wealth for our family, and hopefully help other families learn the basic money lessons that'll help them sleep a little better at night. Step 1 is the 1-month buffer. Not a 6-month emergency fund, not a year worth of expenses, just 1 month of breathing room. And this is only basic expenses. So rent, utilities, gas, food, everything that you need to survive for 1 month. Added up for our family, that comes out to be about $4,500. The goal of the 1-month buffer is to cover any basic emergency so you don't resort to debt right away. And I say a normal emergency, not a life-changing emergency, unexpected medical bill, or you need new tires, the kind of stuff that's annoying with savings, but is stressful without savings. And that's why for our family, this is the first step we'd start with. If we started aggressively paying off debt, or investing before we have any cash saved up, the first unexpected expense could set us right back to the starting point. The 1-month buffer is the first layer of protection. It's not supposed to feel like you've arrived or that you've reached financial freedom. It's supposed to feel like, we can breathe a little bit. And saving that first month might not be easy. If you're starting from zero, saving up a few grand could take a few months. Building up cash is not flashy. It's boring, it's slow, and nobody's really impressed once you hit that 1-month buffer of cash savings. Trust me, every dollar in that buffer is a dollar protecting you from a small problem turning into a financial crisis. Now that we got a little bit of breathing room, I want to make sure our family is not missing out on any opportunities to get free money. Yes, I said free money. Step 2, if you have access to it, is getting an employer match. And I want to be clear on why this comes after a 1-month buffer and before aggressively paying off high interest debt. The 1-month buffer helps emergencies from not turning into new debt, but the employer match is free money. If that match is available, I have to be taking advantage of it. At my job, our company matches 50% of my contributions up to 6% of my salary. So if I contribute 6%, they add 3%. When I was younger, I did not understand how powerful that was. And looking back, I did not understand what I was leaving on the table. If your employer matches 50% up to 6% of your contributions and you make $60,000 a year, contributing that full 6% means you contribute about $3,600 a year. And the match, or the money the employer puts in, is about $1,800. That's an immediate 50% return before the market even does anything. There are not many places where people can get that. And this is why the employer match can be so helpful in building wealth. Nobody's bragging about taking full advantage of their company's match. I haven't heard that one yet. But over time, this can really earn you thousands and thousands of dollars. Now, I know not every job offers a match, unfortunately. And if yours does not, then this step doesn't apply. You would just skip this and move on to the next step. So at this point, we have breathing room. We're capturing our employer match if it's available. Now we deal with a thing that is working against you every single month: high interest debt. Step 3 is high interest debt. And I want to be crystal clear about what I mean. For me, I start treating anything that's above that 6 to 7% interest rate as high interest debt, excluding a mortgage. A mortgage is a little bit different. It's housing, and it usually has a much longer timeline than other forms of debt. And for most families, this isn't a debt that they're trying to wipe out before they start investing. But for consumer debt, car loans, personal loans, those are the type of loans that you want to start paying attention to. And I want to be honest, our car loan is at about 6%. So for me, that's kind of right on the edge. I don't love it. and I want it gone. But that is still different from a credit card at 25%. When I say high interest debt, I'm saying the credit cards at 20, 25, 30% interest rates, payday loans, high interest personal loans, and buy now, pay later if it's turned into a cycle. Now, the way I like to think about it is high interest debt is kind of like negative investing. Stick with me. The S&P 500 averages about a 10% return a year, but a credit card is charging you 25%. That debt is working harder against you than your investments that are working for you. Compound interest is great when it's working for you, but the minute it starts working against you is when it becomes a lot less fun. Because if we had zero cash and we started throwing money at a credit card, the next time the car broke down, that expense could end right back on the same credit card we're trying to pay off. It's basically robbing Paul to pay Peter. High interest debt is a certified wealth killer. I'm throwing anything and everything at that high interest debt to get it gone as fast as possible. For us, we've been pretty fortunate to keep high interest credit card debt out of our house, but I have seen how fast it can trap people. And if that's where you're at right now, do not feel ashamed. There's a lot of people in your situation. The answer is to create a system to stop the cycle. And once that expensive debt is wiped clean, now we can get to the final piece of the foundation. And this is the step that prepares you for the fun part. Investing. Step 4 is the fully funded emergency fund. Now, this is a step that helps you survive a real crisis. For our family, the target is about $27,000. That's roughly 6 months worth of basic expenses for us, the bare minimum to keep the household going. That is the money that buys us time to find the next thing, time to make decisions without panicking, time to avoid selling investments at the wrong time or racking up credit card debt just to survive. I'm not going to pretend like we have a fully funded emergency fund yet. We're still working through that ourselves. So this is the step we're currently on. But because our previous emergency fund was almost fully built, we were able to survive buying a new car on short notice. And that experience is exactly why I'm a huge believer in the emergency fund, because it doesn't get a lot of love, it's not flashy, but it'll literally keep people's financial life out of the ditch. Now, I know it can feel like dead money to some people. You see a bunch of cash sitting in the savings account and wonder, why am I not investing this? I have been there contemplating, why is this not in the market for me? But again, I have to remind myself that money is not there to invest. It's there as a safety net. Because if we invest that money and we don't have that safety net, we're gonna have to pull money from somewhere, either putting it on a credit card or selling investments. And that's the last thing we want to do. The emergency fund is not supposed to be an investment. It's supposed to be more like insurance. And the return on insurance isn't always measured in percentages. It's measured in what does not happen. The credit card debt we don't have to go into. The retirement account we didn't have to withdraw from. The panic decision we didn't have to make. The stress we don't have to carry into every normal family expense. And that's why I see the fully funded emergency fund as the final step in building your financial foundation. And once this is in place and this step is completed, your family is in a completely new position. And that is when we can start focusing on the fun part. So now that we made it through all the steps, let me summarize. This is the order we would follow. A 1-month cash buffer, employer match, wiping out high interest debt, and getting a fully funded emergency fund. It's not quick, it's not exciting, and it's definitely not the part of wealth building that people want to talk about first. But this is the exact strategy that we followed as a family, and it's gotten us to a pretty good place. It's gotten us breathing room. It's helped us take advantage of free money. It's kept high interest debt from becoming part of our financial journey. But we are still in the middle of this ourselves. Still rebuilding our emergency fund, still making trade-offs, still figuring things out as we go. But once this foundation is in place, now we can get to the more exciting part of building wealth. Investing. And that's what I want to break down in the next video. The accounts, the funds, and exactly how I would start investing if I started from zero. If you want to follow a family trying to build wealth in real time, make sure to subscribe and follow along. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.